Some inventions aren't flashy. They don't come with buttons, screens, or flashing lights. But every so often, a design hits perfection. A system so simple, so stubbornly effective, that modern technology can't touch it. During the grit and grind of the 1940s, while the world burned in war, ordinary people were keeping homes, bunkers and field outposts warm with a trick that ran on pure physics. No electricity, no pumps, no chance of failure. And it's a secret worth knowing today. Stick around, subscribe, and I'll show you how wartime engineers built warmth that lasted. The first thing to grasp is the concept that made these systems unbeatable. Heat moves on its own. Hot water rises, cold water sinks. It's the kind of thing that feels obvious now. But back then, engineers turned that simple fact into life-saving design. They built systems where the fire in the stove didn't just heat the room. It heated water, sent it around the house, and then let gravity pull it back down to the stove. A closed loop that needed nothing else. You don't see that today. Modern hydronic heating depends on pumps. If the electricity dies, so does the warmth. But the 1940s version? It keeps circulating as long as the fire burns. And even after the flames die, the system keeps delivering heat, like a thermal flywheel that won't quit. The setup was elegant. The stove or firebox sat low, sometimes below floor level. Above it, a tank or coil captured the heat directly. Pipes sloped just enough to let water rise naturally, flow through the rooms, shed heat, and return to be reheated. No motors, no complicated controls, just careful planning and respect for gravity. Today you can replicate it. A copper or steel pipe loop, a wood stove, a few centimetres of rise per metre, and the physics takes over. It's nearly impossible to stop unless you let the fire go out completely. In survival cabins, off-grid homes, or even workshops, this method could outlast any modern system without a single moving part. Part of the magic comes from thermal mass. Modern radiators chase fast heat. Aluminum fins and thin steel panels react quickly but cool down just as fast. In the 1940s, engineers wanted heat that lingered. Homes use cast-iron radiators, clay, brick, stone, and even sand to store warmth. Think of it as a battery. Fire charges the mass radiates heat, and it keeps going long after the last log is consumed. That lingering warmth protected families from freezing nights, and it didn't matter if the fire was low. It wasn't about convenience, it was survival. Even now, you can use the same principle. Surround a stove with masonry. Set steel barrels of water nearby. Let them soak up excess heat, then slowly release it into your living space. Primitive, yes. Effective, always. Water wasn't the only medium. Air moved too, in a dance guided by nature. Builders crafted channels behind walls, under floors, and inside stove surrounds. Cold air flowed in, warmed along the way, and emerged near ceilings or distant rooms. No fans, no electricity. Just a natural upward draft that circulated warmth evenly. Even simple modifications make a difference today. Build a shroud around a stove with a small gap, a vent at the bottom for cold air, one at the top for hot air. When the fire warms the metal, the air begins to move on its own. That quiet whoosh is physics doing the work humans can't easily replicate with modern heaters. The brilliance of these systems wasn't just in keeping homes comfortable. It was survival engineering. During wartime, when supply lines broke and electricity failed, soldiers and civilians needed something reliable. Engineers and homeowners didn't have the luxury of convenience. They needed systems that worked under the worst conditions. Thermal siphoning, mass storage, and natural convection were simple yet powerful. Each element worked independently but amplified the others. Together they created a heating system that could survive outages, storms, and the most bitter winters. Modern heating systems, with all their tech and efficiency ratings, often collapse when power fails. The 1940s systems thrived under scarcity. The good news? You don't need a museum to see this work. You can take these lessons into your home or cabin. Start small. Build thermal mass around your stove. Add a convection sleeve to guide airflow. Construct a simple gravity-fed water loop if you want moving water without a pump. Even a single modification, like a stove shroud with bottom and top vents, can increase your stove's heat output dramatically. Combine it with stored heat in barrels or masonry, and you'll have a system that doesn't just survive winter, it thrives in it. Modern heating is fragile. Pumps break. Electronics fail. A power outage shuts everything down. The 1940s system doesn't care about grids, switches or circuits. Physics drives it quietly, continuously, without oversight. It's a lesson in efficiency that money and technology can't buy. This isn't nostalgia, it's strategy. For anyone interested in off-grid living, survival planning, or just smart engineering, it's proof that the old ways often work better than the new. And for history lovers, it's a reminder that necessity has a way of producing genius that lasts. Every brick, barrel and pipe tells a story. A story of people who needed warmth to survive. A story of clever minds who turned simple principles into systems that outlasted power outages and frozen pumps. When you apply these lessons today, you're not just heating a room. You're connecting to a long line of practical inventors who faced the cold with ingenuity and grit. You're using knowledge that endured war, scarcity and winter, and it still works. Start small. Experiment. Let gravity, mass and convection do the heavy lifting. You'll be surprised how much warmth sticks around. For anyone who values history that impacts the real world, methods built to endure, and ideas that survive scarcity, this is one secret you want in your toolkit. And if this has sparked a thought, a plan, or just a little awe for the past, subscribe to the Forgotten War Fronts. Share this knowledge with someone who appreciates clever solutions born from necessity. History has lessons, and some of them still outclass the future.